We want to welcome everybody here to the meeting on our Mastermind call. Very excited for today's call. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. Lindsay has bravely signed up for today's call. This is her week area, and so we're looking for lots and lots of conversation from you guys. We're all here to help each other out. I really think this is going to be an excellent call. But before we get started, I came up with an idea that I think I want to do with all my mastermind groups. And it was a couple days ago, I was in the shower about right here, mid-scrub on my head, and I came up with this brilliant idea that I think, so I had to write it down on a sticky note. But here's what I would like to do. I think a lot of us on these calls get inspired. I think a lot of us watch these calls and like, yeah, this is awesome stuff. And then we get off the call and we're done. We go back to our normal lives. Nothing really, really happens. And so what I want to do is I want to keep ourselves accountable to each other, and I want us to do something that on the things that we learn. So from today's call, from every call from here on out, here's what we're going to do. I want you guys taking notes. Christiane, I want you careful driving, taking notes. So I want you guys taking notes on the things that we talk about. And as you hear something that inspires you, or you're like, I would love to try that, or, you know, I'm going to, that idea right there, I'm going to try that with my team. However the idea comes to you, I want you guys taking notes, writing stuff down. And then at the end of the call, when all is said and done, we sign off, I want you to go to our Facebook page, our Mastermind Facebook page, and post what you're going to do this week in regards to what you just heard on today's call. I'm taking names. I see everybody here. I know who's on this call. And so I want you to go to our page and say, this week I'm going to work on da-da-da-da-da. And then next week we're going to take 5 minutes, and I want us to report back on how the week went in regards to the goal that you set or the idea that you wanted to start trying with your team. Let's get positive reaction. I want our team page to be very interactive. And then, does that make sense to everybody on how we're going to do this? Awesome. So we're 5 minutes into our 40 minutes. I want this to be very interactive. Like I said, if you don't know anything, raise your hand. This is going to be bouncing ideas off each other. So Lindsay, take it away.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So I am always like, whenever I had to do speeches in class, I always wanted to go first so I could get it over with. So that's why I signed up for today. So I chose to talk about strategies or like different tasks that you can do to create leaders, because I have a really hard time letting go of my control over my coaches, and it definitely hurts me because I keep them in my groups, in my challenge groups, you know, and I don't really push them to go off on their own because I'm afraid of what they're going to do, and I'm afraid they're actually going to do nothing if I'm not there basically telling them what to do. So this is a problem because in order to, you know, continue in this business, you have to create leaders. So one thing that I did since last week when I spoke to Kevin about this and started like brainstorming about how I'm going to push my people is I started doing a leader of the day in my coach group. So usually I'm the one that's like posting every day, like looking for personal development, you know, putting up motivational quotes, like putting up my posts and telling them like, this is what I just posted, like take this idea, make it your own, you know, and I'm working so hard on this, and they're just taking my ideas and doing, you know, if they even do what I say, but they're not contributing to the group. So I had them sign up, just kind of like we signed up last week, to be a leader of the day in the group. And so basically I told them, you know, they have to give us something, you know, some type of personal development, look for something on YouTube, find something on like a beach body coach, like what they're talking about, you know, a certain topic that maybe they need to research more, look for it. They need to post something, a motivational video that, you know, will get us going. I always try to look for those on YouTube and just post them, and just different things, and introduce themselves. I wanted, one requirement is that they had their first morning post was that they have to make a video of themselves and introduce themselves and just like talk a little bit about who they are, because I'm so used to talking. I can talk to my computer screen all day long and it doesn't like faze me at all, but it used to, like, and my coach made me do it a lot and I hated it. And now it's like no big deal. Like I seriously could talk to myself all day, but they're afraid of it. And that's why they're not, you know, they're not doing it. And so that was one of the requirements, is that they have to, you know, talk live, which Facebook Live is awesome, because I don't like that when they make videos, they think too much about it, and then they stop and re-record, and then they're like, it's not perfect. So with Facebook Live, it's just so much better because they can just talk, and if they mess up, so what? You just keep going. So that's something that I've been doing this week, and I'd say that one girl like totally killed it. It was awesome. I was like, wow, where have you been? You know, yesterday, another girl was supposed to do it, and I'm like looking for her post, and she was like, oh, it's just not a good day for me. And I'm like, okay, well, do you understand that like I can never say that. Like it doesn't matter if it's not a good day for me. Like I have to be here every single day, whether it's good or not, you know? So that kind of, I got that across to her. And now I have somebody going in there today, being the leader. And it's good to see other people's ideas than just mine, you know, because I mean, I am me and I have like my way of things, and it's nice to see other people posting things. So that's what I'm working on. And next week, if people don't take initiative to sign up, I'm just going to give them a day. And that's it. They have to do it, or they suck, really. I mean, and we're going to be able to pick out who's the leaders, you know? Okay, so that's one thing that I'm working on and implementing. Another thing that I'm going to start doing, which I actually already spoke to my first person about this, is I do my Zoom calls every week, and the people come on, it's usually the same people, and they just listen to me and they just stare at me, and I'm like, Success Club, who's hitting Success Club, you know, and I'm like trying to give them ideas and stuff like that, but I just feel like I'm like talking to myself, and I have told them that they need to start doing calls with their team, but they won't do it. They don't, because again, they're afraid. So I'm going to start having a speaker of the week every week. So it's not going to be me. Like, of course, I'll be there on the call with them, but they're going to have a topic. And so like next week, I have a coach that's going to be on, and she's really good at recruiting. Like every single one of her, she doesn't have customers. Every single one is a discount coach or a selling coach. When she signs people up, she signs them up as coaches. So I'm going to have her come on and talk about that. And so I'm going to make it like a big deal, do a pick monkey with it, and have her be the leader of the call. Like I don't even want to be the one to say, hey guys, welcome to the call. Like I want her to welcome everybody. Like I just want to be on the call, you know? And then afterwards, I'm going to talk to her about it, and we can, you know, what could she work on, where, you know, strengths and weaknesses and whatnot. So I'm going to plan that for every week. And so hopefully by each person doing this, they'll see that it's not as scary as they think, and then they'll just start doing it on their own. Okay, so those are the two things that I've been implementing since last week. Okay, now this is where you guys maybe want to jump in, but I have more stuff. So I think it's really important for a Beachbody coach to have a banner, like their Facebook banner. And I don't think that I think they need to learn how to use PicMonkey or Canva or whatever it is, right? I think that it's important that they know that it looks professional, like so that they can feel professional. In order to be a leader, you need to feel professional. You can't have a picture of like, I don't know, sitting on the beach, whatever. Like, I feel like it has to look good. So one thing that I've done in my trainings is I teach them how to use PicMonkey to create a professional banner on their page. Because I don't know, I just feel like if they have that, it's more there. Do you agree that like they should have like something that looks more professional to be in that leadership role? Like, I mean, it's like you're going to work, like you should have it up there. So I do have a PicMonkey. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys, most of you know PicMonkey, but if you don't, I have a PicMonkey tutorial that I've done that I could share with you, that you could share with your coaches to teach them how to use it. And there's also a website called Fiverr.com, Fiverr, where you can outsource this task. You can outsource a lot of tasks, but so for my like page, I just wasn't happy with my skills on creating my banner. I wanted it to look way more professional. So I outsourced it with Fiverr. It cost me $30, and they created my banner for me. And it came out great, like really great. And you give them like a ton of pictures, and you basically tell them what you want it to say. And you can pay an extra $5 for unlimited times that you can have this done. So they'll send it to you, and if you like it or you don't, you could tell them what you want them to change. And so you could have your people do that too to make their page look more professional. So that's an idea that I had, and Fiverr was great. It was like some girl in like Madagascar or something that did my thing. I'm not kidding. It was like, but she did a great job, and she was awesome. And so that was good. So another thing that I think is really important is to get your coaches to do a business opportunity call. So in my diamond training that I do, this is one of the assignments, and everyone hates it, and they're terrified to do their own business opportunity call because, again, you have to talk to yourself on the computer. And so what I do is I have them record it, and I talk to them about it, and we tweak it. And we, a lot of times their first take will be obviously really nervous, and they talk about challenge packs, and they don't talk about the business opportunity is what I find. So always have your coach show it to you first, because this happens like every single one. It's all about, like, they do start telling their story, which is good that they, want to, start talking about their why and their story, but then it turns into all about challenge packs and not about the business. And so with like every single one, I've had to go back and, tweak it with them and have them stop talking so much about how buying a challenge pack is so important, but more about how this business has changed your life and what you actually do every day, in this business, and what, the opportunity you're putting out there for people. So I think that it's really important, and you have to make them pick a date, like schedule it. Because once they schedule it and they make an events page and they put it out there and start inviting people, there's no turning back. So you have them, that's first, have them schedule a date and then have them create the video. It should be like 20 minutes long, and they can totally just play their video. They don't have to be live when they do a business opportunity call. And knowing that, like when I first did mine, I was terrified too. But my coach was like, just record it. And when it comes, you put it on YouTube, unlisted. And then when it comes, like it's 8 o'clock or whatever time you schedule it for, you put your link in the events page, and then you say, here's my video, you pretend like you're live, and then say, when we're all done, I'll be here in the group for any questions, or you can private message me. And so by doing it, by knowing that they can pre-record it, it takes a lot of stress off of going live for this. And I also tell them, don't be afraid to read notes. Like say to people, like, I have my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. Like there's no reason why they can't read notes. They don't have to just wing it and just, hope that they remember everything, and they're gonna be all nervous. Like they can seriously just set, like I say that in mind. I'm like, I just have my book here, so if I look down, I just want making sure that I get to tell you guys everything. So, okay, so that's that. A huge problem that I have is letting my coaches run their own challenge groups. Like this is like a major problem of mine. I just don't. Like I don't. Like I like it's, how like they like are supposed to come in and then like after one round or something, they're supposed to take their people and go do their own challenge groups. Well, I have like 500 people in my challenge group because I just am afraid to let them go. So anybody want to talk about that?
Yeah, now's the time, guys. Now's the time to get things going.
Yeah.
What I do that I started doing is my newer coaches, they will join my group, and I'll just have one at a time for my challenge groups. Or if I have a ton of new coaches, they'll kind of share it. But normally I'll post from Monday through Thursday, and then I'll have my new coach post from Friday to Sunday. So then they, get in the role of it, and you can kind of see how they're posting, what they're saying, and how they're interacting with everyone too. That's what I do that helps.
And then do you leave that group, or do you let them stay in there with you?
I let them stay in for the 30 days. And
So
they just they are responsible for posting every weekend. So every Friday through Sunday. And then the next month they go off and do their own. That's been working for me.
Right.
Yeah, I do a combination of that too. Another idea I've done is I'll take the first week, and depending how quick the coaches are, they'll go and share on the second week. Like someone will take a Monday, someone will take a Tuesday, someone will take a Wednesday. And then they're also responsible for corresponding with people, making sure that if someone does a post, they're practicing reacting and responding and answering questions. But after or during that whole, they're there with me, that whole challenge group, so that now they can go on to their own challenge group. And this is a little tedious, but I think it would help me let them go free quickly, is they start their own challenge group, and I'm in there as a fly on the wall.
Right.
To kind of observe their first one by themselves, and behind the scene, I give them feedback and stuff, and then they go from there.
Right.
I have the same problem. I used to do it that way, where I would have my new coaches join my challenge group, and then they would be free, do their own, and I would just do my own, and then only include my newer coaches and challengers. But for some reason, last year at Summit, was it last year at Summit or the year before at Summit? I don't remember who it was I'd heard talking, but like the team challenge groups were really big and successful. So I actually never did that. And so I did start doing that this year, this past year, actually, last year. And so I'm like you, where I had like way 300 some people in this group, with all the coaches, discount coaches, challengers, of everybody's in this one group. But it's funny that this is a topic because we're actually phasing it out and going back to everyone doing their own, and I actually went and decided to do the app, the challenge group app. So I basically made it like, I didn't actually do where I said go on your own. I just was like, if you want to join us, you can. If you don't and you want to start your own group, that's cool too. And like half of my coaches went and did their own thing. So actually not that many coaches joined me. Actually some did, but so we're back to like a small quaint group in the challenge group app. And the others are doing their own thing, which again, it gave me a lot of anxiety in the beginning of May to do that because I'm used to having this huge team group. Right. But I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if their groups are successful or not. I have absolutely no idea. It's killing me, but I'm like, okay, well, my challenge group in my app is great. So, oh well.
Right. Yeah. I feel like for my first year, I was always with my coach, and like I started in January, and then in December, she was like, okay, it's time. You guys need to all go out on your own now. And I was like, what? Like, wait, hold on a minute, you know? I was also like 8 months pregnant. So I was like, you really want me to do this like 8 months pregnant by myself? But when I like accepted the fact that I was going to do this on my own, I was like kind of proud of it, like creating my own page and like picking my own banner and adding just my coaches in there. So it wasn't like, you know, coaches from her downline that had really nothing to do with me. Like it was like, now I'm the head of the page instead of her. Like people were looking up to me. So I know, and that's really when my business started to take off, when I saw it as, if I don't sit down and post in this group every single day, all day, like my business is going to flop. Like this is my job. Like I would just keep, you know, that page up on my screen. So that way I saw that as me going to work, like that page. Like I would sit down and that was me, you know, like sitting down at work. Whereas I didn't see it like that before. I was always kind of like, oh, well, I know she'll post and I know she's good at the recipes and I know she's, you know, awesome at putting up workout posts. So I'll just like put in after I worked out to make sure, you know, I did it. So it did really help me take on the leadership role. And I have made some coaches, like this past January, like I did it a year with them. And then this past January, some coaches did go out on their own. I'm just so afraid to, like, there are just some coaches who I just feel like if they flop, they flop. Like, I mean, I just gotta let it go, right?
Right. Pair them up. Put a weak coach together with a strong coach in their first time out. That's what I've done with some of my coaches. I pair them up and they have a blast doing it together.
Right.
Responsibility, and that becomes success partners.
And it's better to know now, like, if they're not gonna like take on the role than to wait on it.
Absolutely.
So it's just something
I've done it both.
So another thing, did any of you guys go to the New Leader Conference? Patty went, I know, yeah.
I went the year before, not this January, last January.
So Michelle Myers spoke. Do you guys remember her? She was like the Southern girl who I thought was awesome. She was my favorite to listen to. And she spoke about creating leaders. So I kind of just pulled out my book from that and was looking at it because she definitely gave some awesome tips. And as I'm reading it now, it's like one of the things it says is, what am I doing to empower my coaches versus enable them? So for sure, like I'm definitely enabling my coaches by letting them stay in my group. And I know this, and you know, I'm holding them back. So I just have to get it, in my head. But one really awesome thing that she said, and it says, what can I do to be blameless? So like she does this with them, I'll tell you this like task with each coach. And if they don't take off from there, then she knows that she tried her very best and she, will just move on. So something like let's say like the business opportunity call. So what she says is that she does it and then the coach will watch her do it and then they talk about it. And then the next step is that they do it together. And then when it's done, they talk about it. And then she says that she has the coach do it by herself. And like I would watch and then we talk about it. And then the coach does it by herself and just has someone else watch. And that's how she builds her leaders, by basically holding their hand through each important task to get them to go. And that's, if they go, if they fly, they fly. And if they flop, they flop. And then it's time to move on, Like for me, I definitely I did it. Like my coach told me what to do. I listened to her. I did it. And here I am, but there are other people that just don't see it like that, or I don't know. They just don't care. I don't know. But then another thing that she has is that top performers versus average performers is a sense of purpose. The top performers are not just there for a paycheck. So when you want to grow your business and get these leaders, like if you have people that are just like, well, how much money am I going to make? It's not going to happen. Like you have to have people that love the product, that have results from the product, that, they're so passionate about what the product has done for them and that they want to, just give it to the world. If you have somebody that's just like, well, how much money am I going to make? Well, if I sell this much, then am I going to make this much money? It's just they'll never become a leader.
Hey, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I just want to chime in. One thing that I've learned with my success partner over the last couple of months in trying to create leaders in our group is, and you touched on it when you said that you're holding them back. Mm-hmm. I feel that if we continue to just, micromanage and not embrace or try to develop leaders, it's almost like we're just feeding into our weakness for not being able to develop leaders.
Right.
So what we've done is we wanted to offer higher end trainings like leadership ladder training, Star Diamond trainings, but we were offering Coach Basics. So it was crazy too much. So we picked 3 people. We don't even ask these guys because we know our coaches, like we know who's ready. And we told them to observe our next Coach Basics. And then we went ahead and just created an outline, a guideline. We taught it to them and then they ran with it. So now she has 3 coaches. I have 3 coaches. They alternate Coach Basics and they do a phenomenal job. And that was hard for me because the first 30 days of a new coach is so crucial, right? If they get started right. And that's where it taught me just what you said. If you take the time to teach your leaders to lead the right way the first time with patience and hand holding, they're going to go. And a lot of times people who are just sitting back, they're sitting back because they think they're not ready. But if you recognize they are, they're like, okay, if you think I'm ready, yeah, maybe I will.
Right.
Sometimes they just need to be invited.
Right.
To lead.
And I think if I can just add to it, I think some of it is how we position it. Like if I'm talking to coaches and I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so ready, you get to do this, rather than you need to, you have to. That sounds heavy and I wouldn't want to do it. I've been told I have to do things and I've been like, really? This is my business. You don't position it that way to me. But if you say, oh my gosh, Patty, you are so ready, you get to do this next month. What support do you need? I'm going to be like, hell yeah, I'm all over it. Right. So I think some of it is get under them and lift them up.
Right.
I think so often we get into coaches are our to-do list and you have to do this, you have to do this. And they're not, we have to remember that too.
Right.
We get to support them in this.
Right.
It's hard. It's so hard. I want them to do so good, and like I just see all this potential, and then I'm like, where are you? Like, where are you? Why did you disappear? I did a diamond training that I created kind of as I went, and just basically put each assignment was like, like what they should be doing as a diamond coach. And I had them put $25 each in the pot. And so whoever became diamond at the end, there was like a certain deadline, they got to split the pot. And it definitely pushed them to do the training because there was money involved. And I'll tell you, I think I had like 30 people in it, and I wish the 9 people that turned diamond were mine. One of them was mine, but 9 people turned diamond in the training. And so whatever, they split the pot. And it like those who like really did it and were like focused and did every single assignment, every single thing that I like told them to do, turned diamond. And I'm like, well, where are the other people that put the $25 in? They just disappeared. They didn't do it, And it's so frustrating because you have this vision for them, and so it's just hard to let go.
I love it. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, just I think this business is all about a person's timing. They might sign on as a coach, but it won't be until like 3 years later that they decide to work it. I mean, I signed up a coach, and 3 years later she became a diamond, but for the first 2.5 years she did crap. Right? But then it was like that one day she just, she was in the page. She always followed everything we did. She saw everyone else growing their business. And sometimes the same way you have to have followers until they say yes to a challenge pack, you have to have coaches follow until they say, you know what, I want to start making that money.
Right.
And be okay with that. I think we need to be okay with that, right? And just focus on our workers.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, let me give my 2 cents here on this deal. I'm loving this call, guys. This is exactly what a mastermind should be. I'm so glad I'm recording this because I want you guys to go back and watch this again. So many good ideas have been shared that it's hard to add to it because I think, especially Lindsay, I mean, the problem you have, you kind of just answer it yourself. You just need to do it, and
right.
we're all nodding, going, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have people like that I just need to let them experience this for themselves. And if they're going to fly, I'm going to help them fly. If they're going to flop, okay, it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. I promise, because you'll be happier because you'll be getting the lead. The leaders will emerge, they'll come forth, and then they'll start flying. One thing that I love here is kind of, and you mentioned this, it's kind of what we're doing right here on the mastermind call. Like, you're taking the topic you're uncomfortable speaking about, and you're speaking about it, and I guarantee you're the one that's going to come away from this most ready to change, because this is the topic you are teaching on. It's always the same. The one who teaches on the topic learns the most. It's the one that you didn't want to talk about this. This is not a comfortable thing, but allowing you to do this on a mastermind call, and then really gets you out there. It gets you to stretch yourself, and that's what we do as leaders. And that's what we, just like the enabling our team, we're just bringing them down. Like, we need to stretch our leaders. There's no way we're going to get better if we're just doing the mundane things we're comfortable with. We have to let people stretch themselves. Let them lead a call. Let them be, I love the leader of the day, the speaker of the week. I think those are great things that give them opportunity to see that they can become a leader. If they can't see themselves as a leader, they're not going to lead. They have to see themselves as a leader at some point. And it's giving them those small opportunities to lead where they will succeed, where it's a guaranteed success that we need to give them. And then then saying, look, you did a killer job. You're definitely a leader. Just like Patty said, I think you're an emergent leader. I want you to go now and do this on your own, rather than, hey, time to fly the nest, Joe. I mean, you're out. Like, I've been hold handing way too long. That's not going to create a leader. That's going to create somebody who's going to fall to the ground. It's empowering them. And I think I've said this maybe to a few of you, and it was just one of those little light bulb moments. But to inspire people, you have to be inspired yourself. Like, if you're just out there and you guys on your team calls are just talking numbers, success clubs, SE base, like, that is not inspiring in any way. Like, if you want them to do something, you need to inspire them, and then you need to be inspired yourself. You need to get them motivated, get them on the bus for the right reasons. Get back to the basics of, guys, we're changing the world. We're ending obesity. People are living longer lives. They're living better because of what we're doing. We are changing everything. Let's go change lives, rather than, hey, I need SC5 right now. Like, why are you guys hitting SC? I mean, that's just not going to work. So stretching your team, stretching yourself is what's going to make this work. And I'm so glad that you guys all chimed in. I love the conversation. We are at less than a minute here, but here's a reminder just of what's going to happen now. Hopefully you've taken notes. Hopefully you've come up with ideas of what you want to implement this week in regards to leadership. I want you guys to put that in our Facebook page. I want you to do it this week, and next week report back on, okay, I let this many people lead. I let go of this, or whatever the topic may be. I got speaker of the week, leader of the day, whatever you guys want to discuss. And let's make ourselves better. Like, these calls, if we're just blowing smoke, this is not worthwhile calls. It's time to stretch yourself. It's time to become better leaders. Let's do this together. Let's support each other, and then have a killer, fun, safe Memorial Day weekend. We will reach back, talk a week from today, next Friday. I'll see some of you in between then, but great job, Lindsay. Thanks for leading the discussion. I'll see you guys
for listening to me.
All right, see ya.
Bye.